Go for it.
Alright, so I started working at Big Lots in April of this past year. And for those of you who don't know what Big Lots is, think of it as like a smaller version of Target, except we mainly specialize in furniture, like beds, dressers, couches, that sort of thing. So August of this past year comes around, and it's the first Saturday of that month. The previous night, I worked a closing shift, and it was just grueling in terms of workload. So I wake up the following morning feeling like shit. I didn't really want to come in at all. I just wanted to stay at home, you know, play my Xbox, play some Apex, fine. But of course, I had another shift. That one was also fairly long. And I just did not feel like it at all. But I forced myself to go in, and bad idea. So I went in, and the first thing that every employee is supposed to do is walkie-talkie into the manager, say like, hey Alexis, I'm here, yada yada, and then she's like, alright, can you meet me here so I can give you a task to do? Didn't really do that. I kind of just wandered the store aimlessly for a few minutes until I found Alexis or she found me, either or, and she was like, hey, why didn't you walkie-talkie me, man? And I was just like, I don't know, 'cause my headspace was not in it at the time. And she was basically like, alright, well, no worries, just don't do it again, please. And I was like, okay. And she basically gave me the task of like stocking the paper aisles. So like the paper towels, the toilet paper, that type of stuff. So I go do that, and as I'm doing it, I start to see a line form at the front of the store, and I'm already knowing what's gonna happen because there's only one cash register up there, like in terms of an employee, and I know what's about to happen, and lo and behold, it happens. John, we need you up front. I did not. So I was basically like, all right, fine. I put my stuff down, or like I set it up there, climb down the ladder, and go through the middle of the store where the furniture is. And this happens like 4 or 5 times, and each time I was getting more and more frustrated. And the 4th or 5th time, I want to say like the 5th time, there was this lady at the front of the store who just came in, and she goes to me, sir, there's no wipes in the wipe dispenser. You have no idea how much I wanted to go to this lady. Ma'am, I don't give a flipping flamingo that there's no wipes in the wipe dispenser. If you care so much about it, just bring your own wipes. But of course, I didn't say that. I was already having a problematic day, and I didn't want to add more to it. So I was like, all right, fine. I go to this like 5-6 black box we call a wipe dispenser. It's rectangular. I open up the back. Lo and behold, there's no wipes. So I close, and I'm just like, all right, I'll see what I can do. But of course, I have to go register. So I go to the registers, and I start ringing. So I ring a customer, send them on their way, and then this next customer comes along. About like middle-aged woman, like maybe mid-40s, 50 at max. And she's got like a very wholesome vibe to her, you know. But I see her cart and just a shit ton of stuff. And I'm like, all right, fine, whatever. It's nothing. It's something I dealt with before. I could do it again. Should not have said that. She asked for every single price of every single item, and I was like, at a certain point, I just wanted to say to her, "Man, this is a bag of Lay's barbecue potato chips. Why does the price matter? You're gonna eat them anyway." Of course, I didn't say that because I would add more problems. So I just kept scanning, ringing, etc. Until eventually, when we're all done and I put the bags in her cart, she's like, you have a very beautiful voice. This did not process in my mind, so I'm like, what? She says it again, you have a very beautiful voice. I'm like, thank you. This was like the furthest thing I expected from her. And we started getting into a conversation. She's like, "Have you ever done anything with your voice?" And I'm like, "Not really. I mean, I can do a few voice impressions here and there, but other than that, not really." So she's like, we start getting into a conversation. Like she says, "You know, you should really go into like, you know, looking into doing things with your voice." I'm like, maybe. I'll think about it. So we go through that conversation. I send her on her way, and then after that, the day just gets suddenly better. You know, I'm able to finish my task. The line stays fairly short, and then for whatever reason, my friend Jeff just comes along, just goes to the front of the registers, and he just starts fucking looking for food under the registers like a fiend, and it was the most hilarious sight. But after the shift ends and I go home, I suddenly realize, maybe I can do something with my voice. And so now I might look into a side project in voice acting or something else.